Bro, just out of pure curiosity right now. Bro, look at Chris Bumstead's analytics right now. Cause I went and checked, I was like, we talked about how much he blew up after the Olympias and stuff. Cause last time I checked, his number, like his follower count was at like 6.5 million. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's at like 6.5. And I checked, it's at 7.2. Kenny, look at this shit. 66,000 followers in one day. 64,000, I mean. Bro. He gained 748K in the past month. That is nuts, bro. And he doesn't like, it's not like he just won the Olympia or something. Like, it's not like it was recent.
Passive following.
It's just passive following going up 700K a month. That's like 4 times my total amount of followers every month. Just like passively like.
C-Bum, drop income reveal. Like total income reveal.
C-Bum will not be dropping
drop your taxes.
Drop your tax form, bro.
Keeping me all night. Keeping me all night. I won't go. Keeping me all night. Keeping me all night. I won't go. Keeping me all night. Keeping me all night. I won't go. Keeping me all night. Keeping me all night. All night. I won't go.
So I've really wanted to do a full workout for a while where I show you guys every single set, every rep that I do in the gym. Just cause like part of the reason we have to montage it and make it like cutscenes of like different clips and stuff and put different music over it is because as you can hear, they play very copyrighted music in here. So if I just filmed a full workout, the mic would obviously pick up the music, it would get copyrighted and taken off YouTube. But I just got permission for sometime on prep. They're gonna play no copyright music in here for a couple hours. So I'll be able to actually film like a full workout. I'll wear a little like lapel mic and talk you guys through what I'm doing, what I'm actually thinking about, why I pick different exercises, etc. Because I've wanted to do that for a minute. So that will be coming soon, hopefully in the next couple weeks. That'll be sick. Also, I wanted to say I'm sorry for the like 5-6 day hiatus. My chest has been sore, but I'm slowly getting back into pushing it hard. But like, obviously you guys don't want to see like, well, maybe some of you do, but the majority of people don't want to see like sets of 40, like super light, super slow and controlled. It's pretty kind of fucking boring, honestly. So, and then my shoulder got fucked up. I slept on it wrong, so I couldn't really even train back. All I've really been able to train hard is legs. That's why you're seeing a leg workout right now. But everything's feeling better. I will get back to you guys with an upper body workout soon. And hopefully a fucking hardcore chest workout in the coming weeks. It's been too long since I really trained chest hard. I'm kind of self-conscious now because there's people in here, but here's my predicament, guys. My acne has been clearing up, but in terms of these little spots, look at these. You see these spots? You see what I'm talking about, Kenny? Like just this, like that's not even a pimple, neither is that. These are completely smooth. They're just like hyperpigmentation. If anyone has any tips on how to get rid of that, that would be greatly appreciated. I don't want to be upstage looking like a fucking leopard, you know? I want to have smooth, you know who has crazy smooth skin? Mike Thurston. It's like weird to look at. It's actually weird close up.
Flawless.
It's like flawless, no homo.
You could be the one that I'm all about, but I'm starting to break. I'm starting to break down. Replaying your words there in my head. When you're not here, I'm stuck in bed.
so close to just not doing that set. I heard that like turning your feet like this as you do the leg extensions hits your outer quads more. Can someone tell me if that's complete bullshit?
Nah, I do that.
I mean, it feels,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It feels like it. Yeah, no, because that would make sense.
Because it
I don't
puts
know
more
what the
weight
word
on
is.
the outer side of your shin, which like goes to the
Yeah.
outer side. Yeah.
Yeah, so geometrically, like, it would have
I
to...
bet y'all motherfuckers didn't think I'll be learning today.
Yeah, geometric body composition. I feel like half the time you look something up, and there's like a bodybuilding.com forum on it, or like an actual article. It's just some guy sits there and thinks about it and is like, yeah, I feel like if you do it this way, it probably hits the outer quad, and then writes a whole article about it. So like, I can't tell what's actually real or not. All right, hello everyone. We are currently filming a Q&A in my car right before I go into the gym. So this is more of like an FAQ because I get a lot of the same questions from beginners or just people new to the channel. And I'm also gonna answer some regular Q&A questions. All right, first one, what's your split? My current split is legs push pull, but I've actually switched it up recently. So I was hitting hamstrings and calves after my back workouts, but now I am not taking rest days because I don't feel like I need them at this point. So I'm doing legs, but it's just like glute and quad, then push, then hamstrings and calves, then back, repeat. So it's a 4-day split. And the reason that I split up hamstrings and quads into 2 separate days is because legs are my lacking point, so they need the extra volume. How many days per week should I be training with high intensity? So what I usually do, what I've been doing for years, is I would have like, you know, I used to do legs push pull rest, and the first, like, let's say the first leg day, if I squatted, would be like 5 sets of 3, and it would be heavy or intense, assuming that's the kind of intensity you're talking about. I assume that you're talking about powerlifting intensity, which just means the weight that you're using, like the percentage of your 1 rep max. So I would have like 1 heavy day, and then my next leg day would be like 4 sets of 8 or 3 sets of 8 rather than 5 sets of 3. You know what I mean? So I would have like 1 heavy day, intense day, whatever you want to call it, and then 1 light day per week. Are you the owner of Bcaas? Yes, I co-own it 50-50 with Oliver Forslund. Sumo tips and tricks. I mean, the best tip I can give, or the best trick, whatever, is gonna just be to practice sumo. Like when I first started pulling sumo, I wasn't really good at it. Like my form was shit, and it was just a matter of like watching people that were really good sumo pullers. Like go watch Jamal Browner and look at his form, look at how he sets up, look at how he hip pumps, anything like that, and try to replicate it, because obviously he's going to have very good form. It's going to be a little different for everyone. That's a sick fucking car. But it's going to be a little different for everyone. Like some people are more like rounded back pullers, some people are more upright, but at the end of the day, Jamal Browner's form is probably better than yours as a beginner. So watch people like him and try to replicate his form when you do it. Like try to get more upright, try to push your knees out more. Those are the 2 most common things I see when beginners try to pull sumo, is their knees cave in and they're too far forward. They're not upright enough because they're trying to pull with their back. If I train at night, does my protein from earlier contribute to muscle protein synthesis? It does to some degree, because like nutrients don't get digested immediately. It's not like you just eat protein and then it boom gets digested and that's that. But if you have like protein at 8 a.m. and then you go to the gym at 6 p.m., obviously that protein is going to be affecting it a bit less than if you have protein at 4 p.m. and then go to the gym at 6 p.m. because it's going to be way more digested by that point. But the protein, if you have it earlier in the day, it could contribute to muscle protein synthesis from your previous day's workout. So that's why you should just consistently, like, don't really worry about that too much. Just consistently try to have protein in each meal throughout the day, and try to have, like, instead of having 2 or 3 big meals, try to have 5 or 6 smaller meals that all contain protein. Any chance Bcaas starts carrying XXL in the near future? Yes. And we're also slightly sizing up some of our products. current body weight is like 193, and the heaviest I got to on my bulk was like 202. But when I got on the meal plan, I immediately lost a bunch of weight because my body was just like getting shit out, like built up fucking compacted Chick-fil-A and Chipotle from the past 5 months. And so I lost like a bunch of bloating and just like actual poop that was in my gut because I'm eating much more easily digestible foods now and more fiber. So it kind of just like flushed that out, all like the shitty unnecessary weight, and it immediately dropped down, and now it's like slowly going down. Now I'm like actually losing fat. Favorite shoe would be the ones you guys always see me wearing, which they kind of look like, I don't even know what they kind of look like. They're Prada Cloud Bust, like cloud in the sky, bust, B-U-S-T, one word. They're one of like the models of the Cloud Bust. Is the anabolic window BS? Like, some people are completely on one side, like you have to have it right after you work out. You have to have protein or you'll like fucking lose your gains from that workout. And then other people are like, it doesn't fucking exist at all. But if you look at the rate of muscle protein synthesis following a workout, and you look at like how anabolic you are following a workout, you are most anabolic for like the few hours after you work out. Obviously you remain in an anabolic state for like, I think over 48 hours after you work out. You're less anabolic 48 hours after you work out than like 2 hours after you work out. So I wouldn't stress it. If you like go home and you have stuff to do and you can't have a meal for like an hour, you're not going to lose your gains from that workout. You don't have to like carry protein shakes with you, so as soon as you work out you can have protein. But also I don't think it's a good idea to like go to the gym, train hard, and then not even think about when my next meal is. Just like go home and fucking play video games for 4 hours and then have food when you get to it. I would try to get protein in at least within like an hour and a half after leaving the gym. I usually have it as soon as I come home just because I'm hungry. What are you running for this prep? I assume you mean gear. You obviously definitely mean gear. Right now I'm just running 500 tests, and I'm gonna start with like really low tren, probably just like 75 milligrams of tren per week, along with the 500 tests per week. And then I'll probably taper up to like 150 to 175 probably. 175 is probably going to be the highest I go, because with tren, what I've noticed is a lot of people abuse it. Like they think 300 is like the minimum that you need, and then like anything under that's just not going to do anything. But that's not it at all. I mean, at least with me, I've always been the type to like, if I'm going to add something in, I'm just going to sprinkle it in, especially with tren, just a fucking dash of tren. Like, you don't need a shit ton, because at some point, like, the risk to reward, if you like blast 500 tren, your liver is going to be fucking shit, your lipids are going to be shit, your blood work is going to be shit, your sleep is going to be awful because you're going to be sweating through your bed sheets, you're going to be irritable, on edge all the time. All of these things are not going to contribute very well to like having a good workout, besides maybe being irritable. I guess if you're kind of angry all the time, maybe you'd have better workouts. But like getting really bad sleep at night because you're running too much tren, there's nothing worse for me when it comes to like getting in a workout than having slept shitty the night before. So I want to keep it at a dose where I have no sleep issues. So anyway, I'm gonna throw in tren, and then really close to the show I might throw in like a small dose of something to harden me up, but I'm not gonna pull test out. A lot of people will pull test out close to the show. There's really no point for that. It'll just make you lose fullness. As long as you control your estrogen, then you're not going to come in watery or anything like that. For muscle growth, do you believe locking out at the top is bad? I don't think it's necessarily bad as long as you don't linger up there, but I know I certainly have, and I've seen other people, like on squats for example, they'll squat and they'll come up and fully lock their knees, and at that point there is no tension on the muscle at all. It's all being supported on your skeleton. They'll like do a rep, come up, take like 8 full breaths, do another rep, come up. It's like there's no tension on the muscle every time you're coming up and resting up there. You're essentially doing like, you're not doing a set of 8, you're doing 8 singles with like a 10-second rest in between. So locking out's not bad. I tend to stop like a little bit away from lockout just so I'm not putting all that like pressure on my joints. when it comes to bodybuilding. So yeah, there's really no point for me to like fully lock out, but also at the same time, don't fucking do half reps because those are just useless. When drop more Vical? I want OG hoodie, please, good sir. We have a bulk order coming. It should be coming in at the beginning of May. That's what the manufacturer said. We can expect the shipment to be delivered by May 7th. I call cap. I think it's gonna be at least mid-May, just because there's supply chain issues, and it's just, I don't wanna overpromise and underdeliver. So we have made the order. Manufacturing is almost done, whatever. And I'm just waiting for the clothes to come in. So at this point, there's nothing I can do. We're looking at another manufacturer right now in a different country. So we're not just limited to like one manufacturer. And actually we just got another manufacturer that we're looking into, so that would be a third one. So we're trying to like spread our options out so that if one manufacturer under delivers, we can just like get other products from other ones, you know what I mean? How to properly use Milano Tan. I would inject 125 micrograms. I would start out with like 50 just to gauge. If you get like super nauseous and it's not even worth it, then obviously don't use it. But I'd start out with like 50 and then taper up to like 125 micrograms, like 15 minutes before you tan. It kicks in very fast. Definitely asked, but SBD, squat, bench, deadlift, is squat. My all-time best is 585. And that's raw with knee sleeves, not wraps. My best all-time bench is 435, and then my best all-time deadlift is 705 sumo and 675 conventional. High bar versus low bar for leg development. Well, high bar is going to use your more upright, so it's going to use more quads, and then low bar, you're leaning forward a little bit more, so that's going to be more hamstrings and glutes. Obviously, those three muscles get trained, all of them get trained, whether you do high bar or low bar. But if you're more quad dominant and you want to get stronger, then you can do high bar because your quads will take over. But from a bodybuilding perspective, if you are quad dominant and you're trying to work on your glutes and hamstrings, then you should try low bar because that's gonna target those muscles more. You don't really need more quads, you need more glutes and hamstrings. And vice versa, if you're glute and hamstring dominant, you should try high bar because it's gonna target your quads more. How long do you rest in between sets? If it's like a compound movement, I usually rest like 3 minutes. And if it's an accessory isolation movement, usually like 1.5 to 2 minutes. Two people said, one person said, how does this cut feel compared to those in the past since you have a coach? And someone else said, how is prep treating you so far? So I've only ever cut intentionally once, besides this one. I cut for a trip to Mexico just because I'd never done a cut and I wanted to see what lied under the surface. So that one was kind of stupid in terms of how I went about it. I went from eating like close to 4,000 calories of dirty food a day to like immediately down to like 2,000. It was just fucking stupid. And I did get shredded, but like I was pretty fucking hungry. Versus prep now with Kyle, he's still got me on like 3,500 calories a day. So it's a slight deficit with 30 minutes of cardio on training days. And it's just much more manageable. Like I get hungry, especially after the gym, but it's totally manageable. My digestion, holy shit. Digestion is way better now. So I'm kind of just like going through food easier rather than having it sit in like a lump in my stomach and giving me stomach issues and stuff. From that aspect, it's much easier. The first like couple weeks I was honestly force feeding, and I still, some meals, like if they're very bland and I'm not really hungry, I do have to force feed them, but I still am losing weight. It's just much more like sustainable now. Should I take BCAAs? I don't really think they're necessary. I don't take BCAAs. I'm pretty sure that if you get a good EAA supplement, or even like a good complete whey protein supplement, or just eat a whole food diet, BCAAs occur naturally in whole foods. So if you're eating a high protein diet, chances are you're already getting enough BCAAs from that. Or if you have an EAA supplement, I'm pretty sure there's BCAAs in that too. So I think for the most part, it's a waste of money. I know some bodybuilders take them. I personally don't. And I mean, if Derek made one and I got them for free, you know, I would probably take them just because I they taste good and it's like a little extra protein, but I probably wouldn't go out of my way to spend money on them. Why am I putting on size but strength seems to be stagnant? And then someone else asked how to increase in the big three. If you're like focusing on size but your strength isn't going up, you're probably training mostly like a bodybuilder, so like doing high rep sets and not really focusing on any max out like heavy sets of 1 rep or 2 reps or 3 reps. So just throw in like a heavy single once a week on each main compound if you're not already. Are you natural? No. When did you start with tren and why? I've only ever taken tren once, and I took it briefly in Dubai at like 50 milligrams a week or some shit, because like this past time I went to Dubai, I was low on test, so I forget exactly why. I think it's just because I was low on test and I was like, fuck it, I'll sprinkle in some tren so that I don't lose muscle while I'm here, which seems to work well. But the first time I took it was just to cut for Mexico. So tren is a very good cutting drug. It allows you to basically cut and not lose any muscle at all, almost. It's not great for bulking. I mean, it works for bulking, but like usually people take it for a cut. And the reason why is for that. I mean, it's great for cutting, and like the results that you can get from a little bit of tren will outweigh the results you can get from like a decent dose of like multiple other compounds combined. So people are like scared of tren because it's like dangerous, and like people hear these tren horror stories. When it comes like from a health aspect, it's probably healthier to take a little bit of tren and get the same results versus take a whole fucking plethora of like other compounds just to get the same results, but like worse health markers, if you know what I mean. Did weed ever give you social anxiety? And then someone else asked, opinions on weed and bodybuilding. Yeah, I mean, weed, it made me like socially like conscious of the things that I would say and the things that other people would say. And I've heard of a lot of other people, like a lot of people I know, this is probably one of the most common things that I hear about weed, is like it makes me not want to talk as much because I'm like nervous about what I say, and I'm nervous about like if it sounds stupid or not. Yeah, it's a pretty common thing that I hear. So that's definitely happened before, but if I'm like a little, you know, if I drink a little bit too, it kind of gets rid of that. But I don't really smoke that often. So opinions on weed and bodybuilding, I mean, they go together well, especially if you're bulking and you get the munchies. If you have like a hard time eating and weed helps you eat, there's no like negative, it doesn't like hinder muscle growth at all. I'm pretty sure though it has an effect on estrogen a little bit. I've heard of people like getting sensitive nipples when they start smoking a lot of weed. So, or it could be prolactin, I'm not really sure. But yeah, there's like Greg Doucette smokes to help him sleep. There's a lot of other people in the industry that I know that like smoke and they still have great physiques. How to increase libido naturally? No fat. Did you graduate college? And if so, was it with comp sci? No, I did not graduate. I dropped out after, it was my third year, first semester, dropped out because there was all this opportunity in front of me and I just kind of felt aimless in school. So I was like, fuck this, I can always go back to school if I need to, but I'm not gonna give up on this opportunity right in front of me, like presenting itself to my face. So I didn't graduate, but yes, I was studying computer science. Kenny, you know, one person left a comment because I like put gorilla mode into a shaker, but I didn't like show me drinking it. So they were insinuating that like I don't actually take the supplements and that I just like promote them. This is, if any of you have bought gorilla mode, you can clearly tell by the color. That's what this is. I drink it every day. 1 scoop of nitric, 1 scoop of energy, sometimes a little less than 1 scoop of energy. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. If you've gotten this far, please leave a like and a comment. If you don't want to comment, at least leave a like, because it does help the algorithm get the video out to more people and stuff. So I'm gonna go get this hamstring and calf workout, but first I'm gonna take a gigantic shit in one of the Alphalete bathroom stalls because I've had this pre-workout and it has stimulated my bowels. If you want to support me, you can, all of my like support links with the discount code, it's code JAM across the board for everything, code JAM. So you can, that's all in the description of this video. It's where you can get Young LA, Gorilla Mode, stuff like that. So anyway, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.